Welcome to the Ocean Tribe Hangout, where we chat with water humans from across the world. We focus on passion, representation, and most importantly, inspiring the world to venture into the most beautiful place, the ocean. Let's tuck in. Hi guys, welcome to the live. I'm so excited for today's guest. So we have a lady by the name of Aurelia Carnets. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. But she is from Paris and she has just joined the live. And I'm so excited to share. I'm like super excited. So she has dived under ice, and she's also this amazing fashionable human. So I'm excited to share. Yay!
Hi! I'm just putting myself a little bit up more.
Oh my word, how are you doing?
Good, and you?
I'm good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad this is happening. So it feels like it's been forever since I've done an Instagram live, which is crazy. But
Yeah.
how Hey?
This is my first one.
Ooh, I hope you love it. I hope you love it. So you're joining us from Paris. How's the weather? What's going on that side?
It's super hot actually. It started the heat wave like today, and we have it for 1 week. So roughly 35 to 40 degrees like all week long. So
I love that. I normally live in Joburg, and I've come up to the coast, and where I'm currently, it was so windy yesterday, and the wind has like slightly died down today. So hopefully we'll be able to get an ocean swim in soon.
oh, nice.
So tell us about yourself. Tell us about you. What's your love? What's your passion? What wakes you up in the morning?
Yeah.
Tell us.
So I have mainly two things. I hope you can hear me well. Do you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So I would say that I have two passions in life. I
Yeah.
have more, but the ocean and fashion are the biggest ones. Like I live in Paris, so I cannot dive all the time as much as I want, going by the sea and stuff. But every time within the day, I'm thinking about the ocean. I'm thinking about I don't know, freediving with whales or freediving with sharks. So it's really like an obsession. And right now with with quarantine, we're out of quarantine. But before that, and and everything that happened, I'm feeling like I'm really missing the sea, and I'm missing freediving. I'm missing being there. So
Yeah.
it's pretty intense. And the other passion, I'm actually also a vintage fashion owner. I have my own online business that I started
Wow.
just before quarantine. So
Yeah.
I'm getting into it. So
Wow.
it's also my second main passion in life. Yeah.
Oh wow. So it's funny because like it's almost like when you think of like French people, you picture passion and fashion, and so when you say I'm a free diver but I'm also a fashion person, I'm like, of course you are. You live in Paris. The whole world comes to see you. The whole world comes to Paris to see what fashion is going to be making the news and all of that, which is actually awesome. But it makes me think about when you say I think about free diving all day, every day. That's me. It's like it's near when you say it's like an obsession.
It is actually. It's not like it.
So you're definitely like at home with me. I think about it all the time. And I think 2 days ago we spotted the first two whales of the season. So
Yeah,
they were just
I saw the video. I think it's that one or another one. I'm not sure, but
no.
okay.
And they were breaching, and we just thought, oh my God. Oh my God. Tell us how you got into freediving. Tell us how you end up freediving.
Yeah,
Did you
actually,
grow up in the ocean?
no.
How did it work?
I'm actually not at all an ocean baby. I was pretty much scared of the water. I started like 4 years ago, and I
Yeah.
can't really tell you what drove me to the water, what happened, but it was like we did with my boyfriend this trip to Costa Rica because he has a
Yeah.
there who is doing an amazing project around jaguars and conservation and stuff like that. So
Wow.
being immersed in nature, you know, it's changed a lot in yourself. And when we came
Yeah.
back to Paris, I started, you know, to really document myself about the ocean and ocean activists and people like that. And one day,
Yeah.
my boyfriend, like, whoa, I would really love to try the PADI certification.
Yeah.
Like, okay, because prior to that, he told me, oh, you know, I have friends who did it. It would be nice if we do it too. And I was like, no, you know, I'm scared of water. I'm scared of head underwater, everything. I was really scared of it. So I'm
Wow.
not a water baby, and things change. I don't know really. I cannot pinpoint something, and it changed, and I'm hooked on it right now. So
Wow.
yeah,
So that's incredible, right? Because I'm the same. I'm not a water baby. I did not grow up in the water. And I don't know if I've ever like had a deep fear for it, but I'm also very new to water. So in 2016, only then did I start snorkeling, and I started scuba diving, and and then a little bit later, before I knew it, I was scuba diving all the time. And then I came across this video, as I tell everybody, and then freediving became a thing. And
yeah,
now when we go on any holiday, I don't even want to scuba. Like, I love scuba, but I don't even want to scuba. I just want to freedive the whole time.
yeah. Because first, I told you I started being a water baby, if I may say so, 4 years ago. But first, the
Yeah.
first mainly scuba diving, and
Yeah.
we went to Dominica with my
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Oh,
Yeah, it's you need to go there. You need to go there. It's amazing. Oh, sorry, my phone. It's amazing. We went to Dominica. So just to let people know, it's not Dominican Republic. It's really Dominica, Dominica. Uh,
yeah.
in Guadalupe Island and Martinique, which are the French these islands. And
Got it.
yeah, and we went on a tour in Champagne Reef, which is quite famous spot there. You have like bubbles of sulfur in the water, so it gives it like
Wow.
champagne feel. So this is why they call
Wow.
it reef. So you can see
Wow.
champagne. And we were with that guy, that diving guy who was showing us around the reef, fish and everything in between. And sometimes
Wow.
was taking one breath and going down, and I was like, whoa, the whole scenery was just beautiful with him going
Wow.
down, going up, and I said, okay, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. This is what.
Wow. So that's actually so amazing. So I've heard a lot about the Dominica, and everyone says the diving there is beautiful. And I can only imagine when you talk about these champagne bubbles, because the best way that I can imagine it is when you free dive and the scuba divers at the bottom,
Yeah.
and you are diving into their bubbles, and it feels like a different level of magic, and you're like holding on to the little bubble. I'm with you. I'm with you. Let, let me quickly pop in. Thank you to everybody who's joining our live. Please let us know if you have any questions for our guest. So tell me, where do you normally dive? So you mentioned that you live in Paris, and where do you go to dive that side, and how far is it?
Yeah, usually we often go across the Atlantic, so most of the time it's in the Caribbean. Uh,
Okay.
I dove a little bit in France, in the south of France, but mostly it's in the Caribbean. So I did Martinique. I went in Mexico. I went to
Yeah.
Mexico. In the
Yeah.
I went in Canada. Not very tropical, but one of the best dives as well.
I can imagine.
Bahamas, in Dominica. So yeah, Saint
You
Lucia.
have you have the most amazing images. So between all of these beautiful places that you are diving,
Mhm.
who is taking your pictures? Because I mean, your pictures look amazing. I mean, when I came across your whole feed, I just thought, this chick is doing all the things I'm wanting to be doing. I'm in love with her. I need to find her. I need to know, what, tell it. How does it all just happen? Like, who's your human? Tell us who's your human.
So usually when I go diving, I did a little bit of research on who I would like to meet, because one of the aspects for me that is important in freediving is not like how long I can hold my breath or how far I can go. It's not that important. It's nice because it enables me to stay longer below the water, but I really love new people. And when I was in Mexico, I went sorry, in Amoncay Freediving, which is a center managed by two sisters. And the instructor was Marina, who is Italian, and she's living there, and she took my picture. We were training, so usually professional photographers. So this is why really neat and very nice. So yeah, they are professional photographers.
I love that so much, because now you're giving like a different aspect that says at the end of the day, and I often say this, that freediving, we often get so caught up on how deep can you go, how long can you hold your breath, and sometimes the question is just about getting comfortable and having fun, but also you get an opportunity to meet new people. So if you reach out to like the dive centers that are wherever it is that you're going, you could really get a really good picture while you're at it.
Yeah, because even through mails and everything, you get the people that you're talking to, and every time I need to say that I wasn't disappointed, because every time I was feeling that this person was the right person with whom I should be diving, it happened. It was an amazing experience in Canada as well, because when I go diving trips, I don't go with my boyfriend, so I'm really traveling alone. So important for me, even for safety reasons, to be in good hands, if I may say so. So it's really important for me, even through emails, to feel comfortable, to feel that you're not to answer me, things like that. So this is the most important aspect, because if, example, you're having a blackout underwater, you need to be in good hands to be sure that the person next to you is taking good care of you. So this is the main important aspect.
I love that so much. And I don't think so it's not often that you always have boyfriend and girlfriend or partners that are diving together. So now that you're saying, I'm normally traveling by myself, you're 100% right that safety is number one, and whoever is around you, we never dive by ourselves.
No.
But whoever is around you should be able and be competent enough to take charge if anything has to happen, and that's free diving.
Yeah, that's the important. That's the first thing that we learn: never dive alone. Always dive with a buddy, and you need also trust with your buddy, because when we go scuba diving, my boyfriend scuba dives, so we are partners. So 100% trust. But when I'm free diving, I need to feel the same, and it's the same club in Paris. I'm super happy with them, because the nice cohesion, and I love them. So it's really.
I actually feel the same, because even with my scuba diving buddy, I then said he had to go on a freediving course, even if it was just the level 1 basic freediving course, because I said, if you're going to be buddying me when I'm training, be it depth or be it distance, when I'm freediving, I want you to be competent enough to, if anything happens, you need to be competent enough, not only to be able to get to me, but to get to me safely and bring me back to safety. And that's super, super, super important. And I see Nazoa says, that's so cool. Such a great idea to connect with local divers. Absolutely true. So reaching out to the different dive centers and making contact.
Yeah.
Now tell us.
Way of travel, because some people, they love traveling, to do hikes or to explore, I don't know, monuments or things like this. I love to connect people who are locals and doing love. So for me, it's the way I travel now, and doing some bit when I can.
Absolutely. But hold on. So and locals know all the best spots, right? So the locals will tell you where to go if you're looking for the biggest party, and underwater party, that is.
Yeah.
Tell us about your ice dive. You have to tell us, one, how you started with it, like, because I remember when you were telling me the story, I was just like, I was so inspired. So tell us how you get to doing this ice dive, and how it went, like what happened.
I would say it started like I started scuba and freediving. It's just like that. I don't know why. It just happened overnight. It was at first just a thought, a mere thought, and after it started to grow as an obsession. And as it was starting to grow as an obsession, I was seeing, I will say his name because I went with him. Actually, I went to Canada to meet him. It's his
Wow.
Coombs. He's a professional photographer, and he lives.
Okay.
So he's taking all this great imagery on the
Wow.
and with his friend Andrew, who is a freediver instructor. So I saw
Wow.
all of their pictures, and I was like, oh, I would love to go there. And one day I saw that Jeff was proposing an ice freediving tour. I was like, oh, but I cannot go. It's a little bit out of my budget. It's not the right time for me, etc.
Wow.
So I don't know how things went well. I went there. It was a 3 day, no, 2 days, I think 2 days ice tour.
Wow.
So during those 2 days, we went under ice, dove under ice. It's really challenging because when you're going in the water, it's like, it's cold, but it's a coldness that you could never imagine of. It's like you have stings going through your body, and
Yeah.
it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense, but at the same time, it's rewarding because it's
Wow.
beautiful, it's calm, it's if you loved freediving, I think ice freediving is another level. It's clearly something else. But
Wow. So hold on, do they like cut open so so everyone gets there and they cut a hole where everyone will go in and where everyone will come out?
yeah, so they cut a hole, but they do it manually. So it
Yeah.
takes 30 to 40 minutes in the cold. So you wait, you it's pretty intense to do it because the ice is so thick, and it's pretty intense, but you get warmed up by doing it. So you just do the hole. We did just one hole where we were going down and up from it. So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty intense.
So now tell me, you were also doing depth disciplines. You were not only doing distance, you also did depth.
It's actually, no, we were more exploring because where we went, because they know the place. So this is why it's really nice to dive with locals. You have a shipwreck. So what we did is
Wow.
exploring the shipwreck. They were showing me like where to go, see what's going on around there. And Jeff was taking his amazing pictures all the time. And it was an amazing experience because of the scenery, but also of the people. We were three. I was
Yeah.
them because it was supposed to. We were supposed to have other people, but because of the COVID-19 that was starting, they couldn't come. So I was only with Jeff, Andrew, and wife Lily. So I was with professionals, and it was very nice.
But that's amazing, right? Because yes, it's sad that other people weren't able to make it, but it made your experience even more richer. You know, the focus the focus was
Yeah,
not multiple, the focus was you, and you could 100% enjoy the space. So what else were you wearing? What were you wearing? Did you only wear your
yeah,
suit?
yeah. Yes, it was only a wetsuit, but I was renting a 7 mm wetsuit with all the gear, specifically for the ice. So it was less cold than we can imagine, but it was pretty intense because I did a dive in Iceland in Silfra, but it was with the dry suit, yes. So you cannot feel the cold at all, and you need to get into it, to get into the water, and with the element. And one time you're hot because you need that it's really, really thick, and after you go out and it's pretty intense, getting colder and colder, you need to act your circulation. So it's really a battle of the mind. I will say you need to calm your mind. You need to, as freedivers, we learn to go into that space. You need to go into that space. You need
Yeah.
to avoid the cold and that is happening around you.
So where did the dive happen, and what time of the year was it? And how cold did the waters get?
I would say the water was probably while the outside temperature was 0, because yeah, sometimes it may even have went below 0, but yeah, I would say 0 for the external temperature. And one for the water. Yeah, I'm crazy. Yeah.
The ice dive that you did was in Canada, and you were just explaining where it was in Canada.
Yeah, at the north of Toronto, like 3 hour drive, near the lake. Like I don't know how you say in English, like this bit of land that goes in the water. So not an island, but
Okay.
an island. And it was
Okay.
so 3 hours from Toronto.
Wow. I love how I would love to say, like, I know what it is that you mean, but I don't. So if
Yeah.
someone knows what she means, please do let us know, because every so often I joke that my English disappears. So
Yeah.
my English sometimes is there, and then every so often it packs its bags and it leaves.
True.
So so you guys did this dive for how many days? For you said it was 3 days.
2 days. It was 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
So and how long did you dive at a time? So were you like out there for an hour and you dived for 30 minutes, or do you remember how long your dives were?
I know the first day was pretty intense. My body wasn't prepared for that. So we stayed, I would say, like 1 hour, 2 hours. But usually I was going for one dive and I was going up, and Andrew was going after me. So we were alternating like that. The second day I was more at ease with the cold and everything. So we stayed there quite a long time. I would say 3 to 4
Wow.
hours doing,
Wow.
between the two of us.
Wow.
So that was the time.
So do you like have a buoy that you are holding onto, or are you coming out of the hole? So you're
No,
coming out of the hole and you're sitting on land, or
yeah,
are you holding on to like a buoy?
yeah, no. For this one, we just cut the hole while I was diving, because it's my first time. I can get not, yeah, I can get a little bit disorientated. So Andrew was putting his fin in the water, and I could know easily where to go out. So we were functioning like that.
Sure, that's amazing. So you had a 7 millimeter suit. I saw that you had
Yeah.
hand mitts. I think you had is it mitts? So you had hand mitts. Tell us all the equipment that you had, and I think you were saying you rented all of it. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us on this live. Aurelia is just having, I think, a little bit of challenges. I think she's just going to be back in a little bit, but she was telling us about the ice dive that she did in Canada, and they did 2 days of diving, and it was just incredible. So I see she's back. Let's get her back on the live.
Okay. So I was renting a hood as well, a cap, for the head. It was 7 millimeters. Wetsuit, 7 meters, gloves, 5 or 7, I guess. Little booties that was pretty thick as well, so I couldn't have my freediving fins in the video or in the picture, like the scuba diving fins. So it was also challenging to dive with this, because I'm not really used to that. So I was like, oh, I'm missing something. So
Yeah.
it was challenging for that.
Yes.
I had for the belly and also for the neck. So full.
Wow. So I've never actually dived with a neck weight belt before. So I wouldn't know like how that would compare. But tell us, how deep was the wreck that you were looking at? Do you remember how deep it was
It
at?
wasn't that deep. I think it was maybe 7 to 10. So it was okay. You could reach pretty easily bottom, and have a tour of not all the rest. Mostly I was doing the front of it, a little bit up and going outside of the water. So yeah, I would say, I don't recall exactly, but I would say between 7. So
That's
pretty
yeah,
sharp.
yeah, that sounds quite nice, because when we were in Egypt, the one morning we were all supposed to scuba dive. So everyone has their tanks ready. And I walk up and I look out into the water, and we were going to be diving this wreck that I could see. It looked crystal. The water was crystal. And I just said, I'm not going on today's dive. And everyone said, like, what do you mean? I'm like, Like the wreck is right here. It's like less than 10 meters. I could explore until I can't anymore. I can explore for the next, you guys go on your dive, and that's how I ended up not scuba diving. So when you say that the wreck was between 7 and 10 meters, I love that because it's a beautiful place to play. It's like you can go in, you can go under, you can even like take your GoPro. It's all of the fun. I wanted to ask you about, oh, I was going to ask you about gear. So for me, I often say that when you are on a dive and you don't have your own gear, it's always such a trick. So now when you're saying I battled with the scuba fins because I didn't have my normal fins, that's always an issue.
Yeah, that's the biggest one. I think the fins and the mask, I always have also with my mask, always bring it, are the main issues. And especially if you're freediving with, I'm in a different environment, maybe if it was in tropical water, that could have been fine. But with the cold, like going inside of you and everything new, it's completely a different environment. I felt like I was missing something, but and it's important to that you have a good energy. You were telling me, okay, yes, I know it's complicated. Try to avoid that. It's really an amazing place to be, and comforting me and cheering me up about that, because it's really complicated in type of water to really find your strength without the fins, proper fins.
Yeah. And like you hit on all of the important points. Like for me, my gear is important. It has to be my gear. And your mask is the most personal thing. Like your mask and your fins. I can handle anything else. I don't mind diving in anybody's suit. I'm not really bothered for many things, but my mask and my fins have to be my mask and my fins. So tell us, what other, where else are you wanting to dive? Do you have any bucket list dives?
Of course I do. But I also have, that bucket list where I want to go back, whereas it was amazing. So I would say I would love to go back to Mexico with Amonkai freediving, and also back to Canada with and Andrew and Lily.
Wow.
But I also want to explore, meet all the new people, because on Instagram, like, you can exchange, words, and you're like, oh, I would love to meet that person. So I'm planning, I'm not sure, because of the current situation, if I can, even though it's not that far, if I can make it to the UK, because there is this photographer called Lexi Lane, which is doing an amazing job. Her photos are surreal. It's really out of this world. So I would really love to dive with her.
Wow.
So I would say I would love to go to UK. I would love also to go to Catalina States. You have all those kelp forests. So I would love to go there.
Ooh.
I would love to go try as well spearfishing, because I'm following Kimi Werner, and she's a total inspiration of mine. So I would say I'm most of the time, but I don't like eating fish or meat if it's sustainably sourced. So I love her thinking and the love she has and respect for the ocean. So I would love to meet her one day, and maybe spearfish or somebody else. And also, because they inspire me, I'm a divers. There are these women in Japan.
Yes.
7+ years roughly, and all of their life they have sources their own food on their one breath, and they totally inspire, because we are in a society where we value young. When you get old, it's like, oh, you're growing older, you have kids in this society. And I love that in their community, thing revolve around them, and I think it's totally inspiring to have like that, being active at 65, 70, even 80-year-old. They totally inspire me. It would be like the biggest freediving dream of mine.
Wow. I love that so much, because I remember when Kimmy came out with the trip when she went on the trip. I found it so inspirational because for me, it reminds me of how often people are written off or written out of history. You know, you look at these women, they've been diving for years, but when we talk about divers, we're not talking about them. And it's such a beautiful
Yeah,
space to one, for me, representation is important. And you're right, even in the age representation, because
yeah,
when people talk about representation, it's sometimes often only linked to race, but age is important,
yeah,
and different bodies are important, and different ethnicities and genders and everything is important. And I love that. When I was watching that documentary, I just
yeah.
thought, Kimmy did a phenomenal job. She really did a service to take us to that place and let us, get to know these women and explore who they are and be inspired by them. Absolutely. And okay,
Yeah,
and I
I
definitely
completely feel
agree to like the spearfishing dream.
it, and this is what it was always.
Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, properly.
No, 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 no.
I
Sorry, I'm
didn't
listening
heard
to
link
you.
it. We had the miscon. Okay, can you hear me now? Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Sorry,
was
you
saying,
were saying?
it's important. Yeah, I was saying that it's important because, as you were saying, in the freediving community, we always think about personal best, how far to go, how long can you hold your breath, and I think the first reason why we started, at least for most of us, is because of the love of the ocean, and these
Yeah.
women are perfectly portrayed and showing it to us, and the fact that they are all women, it's like,
Yeah.
we have lessons from them, and I
Yeah.
think they shouldn't be missed, and I think they are part of that freediving community and freediving
Yeah.
history, and I think it's people keep on telling the words.
Yeah. So, you mentioned that on social media is where you're getting a lot of your connections as well. When you spoke about the Lex lady who's creating phenomenal things, and it reminded me of Egypt. So when I was going down to Egypt, I was looking for a professional photographer, and I couldn't get the guy that I wanted to work with, but I found this guy, Ligi, and such a beautiful human. So I connect with him on Instagram and I tell him, we're going to be there for this long, na na na, na na na. But can you believe this? I had not traveled with my boy, and a total stranger, we'd only met on Instagram, total stranger gives me his boy, his rope, his bottom line, his bottom plate. He gave me everything and he said, I trust you. I was
Yeah,
going to go out diving, and he says, there's that depth over there, there's that depth over there, there's that depth over there. Just promise me that you're going to be safe. I know that you're a certified diver. I've seen your dives. I know you can dive. Just promise me that you're going to be safe. And I said, I'm definitely going to be safe. And just like that, he hands me his boy, hands me his rope. And I'm like, what? Such kindness. And I think it goes back to what you're
yeah,
saying, that don't be afraid to reach out to people and make connections with people on Instagram, because that's also how we're building a community. And look at us, through Instagram, we're able to find each other and find inspiration.
and I think it's important because the freediving community is so into our sport and our hobby and passion that we tend to forget that it's a very small community, and if we don't connect with each other, what's the point of it? So yeah, it's really really important to do it, just for the confidence, but also to have more people getting involved into freediving and into the ocean and into the water. The ocean is such a stake, at risk. You have things to do, so much thing to talk about, and the more people
Yeah.
that are getting in the water, the better message can be sent to other.
Yeah. And I mean, I want to actually go back to you sharing about, getting a photographer. Like, I'm so inspired by that, because to me it feels like, you know when we capture these images, the images that you have, they are more than just for ourselves, right? So we love to look
Yeah.
at those images and think, oh, I was there, it was beautiful. I was diving under ice, or I was diving in the cenotes in Mexico. But when any other, and I mean, I'm going to say it this way, when any other Black or brown girl comes across your feed and they look at everything that you've done, it's inspiring because, you know, in most spaces, it's not often that Black and brown women, or maybe in general, are in the freediving space. So when I see your pictures and I see, you know, yeah, when I see, I was saying, when I see your pictures, I'm so incredibly inspired and reminded to just keep on creating, because it's a space where, you know, we document for ourselves, but the people who come across our dreams and our experiences, their lives are also changed by, you know, by our experiences.
Yeah. And also give someone the confidence in, but also to try something that she always has wanted. I don't know if it's tap
Yeah,
dancing, or if it's ballet, I don't know. It just can give you the thing and the right message that, okay, if you want to do something, just do it. Actually, just, it may be hard sometimes. Important to follow that dream and to
yeah,
follow that dream.
yeah. And again, right, it's telling people that it's possible, but it's also telling people that it doesn't matter how old you are. And that's what we're talking about now
Yeah.
when we're saying, you know, you don't have to be 20 years old to get into freediving. I mean, I'm 31 this year, and I only started diving at sea in 2016. So I was, what, 27. And many people would say that's a very late start, you know. And obviously, especially even in the freediving space, a lot of people will say, oh no, I've been diving since I was a little kid, I have been swimming my whole life. So anytime when you're coming around people, they are telling you that they've been freediving their whole lives, they've been swimming their whole lives, and that could make people feel intimidated when they want to start something, because everyone else that's around them has been doing it for such a long time, and it can make people get nervous. No, no, I can't hear you. So I think, oh, I see Aurelia is having more challenges with her sound. But everybody who has joined the live, thank you so much for being here. We've had such a great conversation. Um, we've had a fantastic conversation just chatting about how Aurelia has done dives in ice, and she has been to such beautiful places. She went to the Dominica, she's been to Mexico, and she has just had like phenomenal dive
Hi.
experiences. And yeah, so sorry, I was just sharing with everyone about everything that you've done, but and just saying, I was again saying that when we decide to start something new, people think that you can get too old, but there's no such thing. You can just do it.
Yeah, just, and this is the message, and this is why also I admire the AMA divers so much, is because they are just doing their thing and they inspire me, you know, from across the world. So I think it's be you, just go after your dream, that passion, even fear, a little bit of fear, but it's important to
Yeah,
just be you, and it's serve not only yourself and people that are shy or backing themselves from doing whatever they like, and it's
yeah,
giving them the right message. So I think it's important.
yeah. So what I thought was also interesting that you mentioned is that you said, I'm vegetarian, but I want to learn how to spearfish, so I don't mind eating fish if I know that it is sourced responsibly. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So I would say that most of the time I can eat meat and fish like once, twice per year. So it's really not a lot, and most of the time I stick to a vegetarian meal because I don't miss that much fish and meat. But if
Yeah.
I know I'm island or something like that, the fish uh, has been caught like responsibly, I might eat it, you know. So
Yeah.
I would say like, yeah, this is my diet, and it's involved a lot of activism behind it
Yeah.
because I prefer to die.
Yeah. And I love that because so I've recently gone plant-based, and I mean
Yeah,
I don't want to stick myself to any kind of eating movement, but I remember saying I'm learning how to spearfish, and if I catch the fish myself, then I'm happier to eat it. And just because
yeah,
I'm not a big meat person, I'm not a big fish, you know, I'm hold on. Before I was a very, very big fish person, and I said, for me, I think I'm incentivized because if I'm going to have fish, it's going to be fish that I cook myself. And that kind of changes how you interact with food, which is beautiful. And you're right, it's a means of activism
and
as
it's,
well in its own way.
yeah, and also you have like a story. I think that to have that connection as well, because same as I remember Kimi and a lot of people say, we are so disconnected to everything right now, and we are disconnected to our food. It's important to, you know, to have connection with it. And
Yeah.
spearfishing for me, when it's done the proper way, it's a beautiful it's a beautiful way to feed yourself and to feed a.
And I love that you say when spearfishing is done the right way, then it's a beautiful way to feed yourself because a lot of people just assume, and I don't know if it's the right or the wrong way, but sometimes like you look now, because we were in quarantine for a very long time, you know, some people are going out and spearing every single fish in sight, you know, and that's not
Yeah,
the idea, because the idea should be to catch enough for you and your family, and it's not to you know, to go out and take out every fish that you can see just because we've been in lockdown and quarantined.
yeah, to exactly. So yeah,
Yeah,
and normally when you're going spearfishing, you have no courses about when and why you should take this. The season you should also respect. I don't know if you're going freediving, spearfishing, Bahamas. You know, you have seasons where you can catch certain species. So it's really
yeah,
important to learn about that. It's not just going down, catch the fish, and say, "Woohoo! I caught that many fishes," and that's it. No, you need to respect the ocean and that place that gives you.
yeah.
So I think it's important. So this is why for me it's also important to eat a living being. Actually, that was living
Yeah.
the proper way. It's
I
the battle,
100%.
the struggle I'm trying to solve, I will say.
Yeah, I definitely so agree with you. And you're right, because even here in South Africa, you can, and I think it's in most places that you can spear. At a certain point, there are certain fish that you can't catch. Even with crayfish, when they've got eggs on them, then you
Yeah,
leave them alone. And but the many spearfishing people that I know, and I think that's, you know, that's testament to the spearfishing community. A lot of them always respect the rules. So if you catch the wrong fish, you release it. You know, if you catch the wrong cray, you put it back. And I think that's such an important thing, because if as a
yeah,
culture we respect the sport, then we're actually able to respect the ocean, you know, and that's what we do. We love the ocean, so we respect her.
yeah,
So we've come to the end of our we've come to the end of our live, and I know we've had some challenges with audio, but it's fine. Tell us, give us a
Yeah,
piece of your heart.
exactly.
What would you love to leave us with? So I don't know if it could be from your day, it could be about the ocean, it could be about fashion. Hold on, maybe give us something as you know, as an overall, and then give us like a fashion tip because I need it. Oh no, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Yeah.
I would fashion tip is like for a lot of things yourself, but try to find the hear me? Is it good now?
Yes, it's good.
Can you hear? Is it good now?
Yep.
Okay. So I would say in terms of fashion, just be you, but try to find the right clothes because I'm into vintage fashion. So this is I went with vintage because I would say I'm anti fast fashion now. You know, you have so many damages to the planet and to the people working in the industry. It's horrifying. So I would say just be you in terms of style. If you love putting colors, just put colors. Don't listen to what some people will tell you, but just do it the right way. You know, inform yourself about those you're supporting through your dollars, your euros, and or whatever. And actually, and I would say the same for. It's like there is this that says feel the fear and do it anyway. So just be you, even
Oh,
if you're the only girl doing a sport, even if you're the
wow.
only black girl doing something, just be you, and maybe you will inspire people. Maybe you will find, you know, your big passion in life. So yeah, that would be the message.
I love that so much. Even when you are afraid, you know, even when you're afraid, do it anyway. I love that so much. That resonates with me like so deeply because, you know, sometimes you get afraid, be it that you're leaving us with the reminder that even when you are afraid, to do it anyway. Aurelia, thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna cut our feed, but thank you so much for making time and you inspire us so much. You inspire me so much. So please keep doing what you're doing and keep on inspiring me and
Yeah.
keep on inspiring girls all across the planet and men and everybody, just to keep on pursuing their dreams.
Thank
Hold on, and good luck with the fashion. Good luck with your vintage store. Hopefully, as the world opens up, everybody comes and they shop from your store.
thank
I think so too. The world is getting smaller, so definitely we're going to be diving together.
And I hope one day we will dive together, maybe ice or tropical
Thank you
water,
so
maybe.
much. It's fine. Alrighty. Cheers, cheers. Bye bye.